Hello and welcome to Beyond the Edge. I'm your host, Brandy Deutsch. And today, Dee Dee is out, but we have somebody really amazing on the show today. This is Carla Harold, and she's the owner of Carla's Empire. It's super exciting because we've been wanting to have someone on who is into CBD. And so to answer some of our questions that we've had, and then Dee Dee had questions too, but then she turned out not to be here, but that's okay. I have some of her questions, so we're going to be able to ask her too. So we're super excited to have you here today, Carla. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm so excited because you just had a grand opening of your store. It's in Magnolia, Texas. And I went to that grand opening not knowing really what to expect because I don't know a lot about CBD. I've heard stories, I've heard some things about how it can help with this and that. And I really don't have a lot of information on it personally. But going in, I was very curious about how this can help because I'm actually in the bodywork business. So, I've taught yoga and meditation for many years, but then I've also gotten into assisted stretching, and my clients always need something for their muscles.
Yes.
I'm very curious. I did use some of the product. I have some feedback about that. But first I want to talk to you a little bit about how you got interested in this. Like how did you get into selling CBD at a store, and what's the story behind that?
Okay. Well, been to just over 2 years ago, I wanted to find something for myself, something because I had been in so much pain. I've had a couple of neck surgeries. That back in 2000, I had an accident falling downstairs, and so because of that, it left me in a lot of pain. That I didn't want to take a lot of other medications, but unfortunately, I did take a lot of ibuprofen several times a day, 4 at a time. And I didn't want to keep doing that. So I researched some stuff on CBD and I decided to give it a try. I went there and was very impressed on how it affected my pain that I've had for 20 years. And I became a really good customer. And within 2.5 months, I became an employee for the company.
Wow.
And after seeing not just what it done for me, but seeing how much I could help other people, which is really my main goal here. It impressed me so much to be able to do that. And so I loved it. I loved to be able to talk to people about their pain and to see what I can help them with, whether it be a little neck pain, like mine was a lot of neck pain, or back pain, knee pain, anxiety, stress. It can help with a multitude of things, but it's important to know it affects everybody differently. It does a little bit different because you metabolize a little bit different. But that's what brought me in. It's my own personal pain. And I just wanted to bring that to other people on my own terms, not on another company that I was working for. So I wanted to do it on my own terms and the type of products I wanted to bring in.
I love it. I love it. So it sounds like you really kind of researched a lot of it before you even stepped into it, before you even tried it. And I think that happens a lot with people who want an alternative to medication because they don't want to get addicted to certain things. And, they want something that's strong, that works, but they also need it fast. So it's we're in this world of instant gratification, and so a lot of times we'll reach for the, like you said, the ibuprofen or the thing that's convenient in there, but those things can really harm the body. It can have a lot of side effects. So I'm curious about CBD. Are there any known side effects of taking CBD on a regular basis?
There's no known side effects, but it can interfere with some medications. So I would highly suggest anyone that does want to take CBD to research the medication that you're on and see if it has any side effects. Now, with that being said, I have people that come in here and still take it knowing the side effects that could happen on their medication because to them it's worth the risk. I'm not saying that for anybody to do that, but I do have customers that are fully aware and it's their choice to do that.
Sure.
Because because they want to try to ease off of that medication and onto CBD that is the natural route to go.
Yeah, hearing that.
So,
And now that there's authorization in the state of Texas to use CBD and other hemp products under
mhm,
medical use, I think it's probably, a good idea to ask your
yeah,
healthcare person, whether it be your doctor or your naturopath, if that's probably something that's good for you. That's a great
absolutely.
point. Yeah, that's a great point, because we don't always think of drug interactions with some things. So I'm
Yes.
glad you brought that up. So also, while I was there, I did notice different types of products. I mean, it looked like there was creams, and there was also oils, and also maybe something edible. So what's the difference between the different ways of getting the CBD in the body?
Okay, it can be numerous ways. My personal favorite way is with a water soluble tincture that goes directly into the mouth. The tincture will get into that soft membrane tissue and kind of absorb better into the body. And the water soluble can do the same thing. And it's great. That's my favorite. But you can also do it with gummies. Some people just prefer gummies. They don't maybe like the flavor. The flavors aren't always the best to some people, but it's just like taking any other type of cold medicine or something like that. That's a liquid. You just know if it's going to help. It's worth that little bit of a kind of flavor, And I've become accustomed to it, so none of it bothers me. None
Sure.
of it. And so, but some people really prefer the little bit of a sweetness of a gummy, which is fine too. We also have capsules. We have capsules that are just regular capsules. We have also things that will help you sleep. We have that in capsules and a tincture.
Hmm.
And that's very good because I actually do the sleep one at night, and it helps me usher me into that sleep. It does work very
That's
well.
That's good to know. I know there's a lot of people struggling with anxiety right now and having
Mm-hmm.
trouble falling asleep or relaxing. And so it sounds like that might be
Mm-hmm.
very helpful. Well, on that note, is it safe for children? Because also there's a lot of children having anxiety and things like ADHD they struggle with. Do you know anything about that?
I, yes, I've had people come to me and ask me what I had gummy wise or tincture wise because their doctors have sent them to me or sent them to a CBD store, not necessarily to me, but to a CBD store and getting that for their child. And not in, of course, the doses that we would take, but a
Mm.
smaller dose to help offset for that ADHD, for autism, for different things like that, because it's it's just so much better than taking the Ritalin or any of those other top medications. It's the more natural thing for your child. We even have great bath bombs. I had a customer that had, and not with one of the products that I have, but it's the same type of effect, that had taken a bath in some bath salts. He actually bought it for his wife, but their son came in and said he wanted to take a bath, and what mommy took a bath in. So they sprinkled a little bit of the bath salts in his bath. Then they said he came back and sprinkled a little bit more in there. He took a bath in. It was in there for like 25 minutes. Came in, sat next to them on the couch, and just leaned on them and said, "Hey, I'm ready to go to bed." And they both were like, "What?" Because they weren't expecting that.
Right.
And so he went right to sleep, slept without waking up, which was not the norm.
Wow.
Got up just fine the next morning to go to school. Got a note sent home from his teacher at school saying, "I'm not sure what you did with," and I honestly don't remember the little boy's name. "I don't know what you did with him, but you need to keep doing it because he didn't
Wow.
act out in class. He was helpful in class, and he was a joy to be around." And
Wow. So it
totally different
literally
type of.
lasted through the next day. That's
Yes,
incredible.
yes, and they said that it lasted on him for like 3 days. That stayed
Wow.
in his system, and that was just bath salts.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
When I actually after we went to your store, I went to my husband's store. He works in retail, and
Mhm.
someone he works with told me a story about his sister who has a child who's on the autistic spectrum, and he said she she was giving it to him for a little while to see how it would if it would help, and this child normally would throw things and bite and do things that were dangerous, to himself
Yes.
and others. And he said after a few weeks of her giving it to him, like he didn't do that. And it
Yeah,
was amazing the difference that it
it is.
made, right? And I
Mhm.
was just shocked to hear that because I had no
Yes,
idea that that's how it was helping people,
yes,
right? That's
yes.
incredible.
It is, and just you hearing that, it just my eyes are welling up a little bit because it makes me feel good to know that kind of stuff, that it helps with them. And I had actually another story with that. A 17-year-old boy came in with his dad at the other shop I was at, and he walked in and he's like, he got really close to me. And he was very tall, but his dad says, uh, my son wants to tell you something. And I'm like, okay. So he says, my name is Paul or whatever. And he said his name. He goes, and I'm autistic and I came to get medication because it has helped me to do better. And
Wow.
I said, okay. And so the man put his hand on his boy's shoulder, goes, okay, you could go sit down over here. There was a little place to sit. And I'm going to talk to the nice lady and tell her what we need. And he said, okay. He went and sat down. And the dad told me for years his son was nonverbal
Wow.
and couldn't do anything. And he said, and I think it was the last 2.5 years when he came to see me, that he's been on CBD and it has changed his life. He said it kills him to know that it wasn't legalized for him to be able to do it in Texas before, but
Wow.
now it is. Yeah, and it's
That's amazing.
amazing the stories that I hear and the accomplishments that have happened with children that would have never happened with regular medication, because with
Yes.
regular medication it just puts them in a daze and kind of dulls them down.
They're not
It doesn't.
productive. Yeah, and they have a hard time
Yeah,
relating and communicating. That's amazing.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
amazing that something
yeah,
that's so natural that could have been a solution is, wasn't
yeah,
available and now it
yeah.
finally
It just
is. That's
kind of hits me. I'm sorry.
That's wonderful. No, don't apologize. That means you care and you're compassionate, right? That you really want to help people with what you're doing. And I know it's going to be so
Absolutely, yes.
successful, Carla. It already is.
Yes, yes, yes. And that is honestly what I'm here for. I wanted to be able to be here to help people.
Mm,
Do I want to make money? Yes, of course we all need to do that. But my main goal is not to rob everybody. I'm gonna sell a product at the best price that I can sell it at, because I want you to come back to me and let me continue to be able to help you, not just a one off for you. I
that's
want
right.
I want to see you 10 years down the line and still saying, I'm doing great.
I love that.
I'm still taking your product and it's amazing. And so, and that's my goal.
That's awesome.
So,
That's so awesome, Carla. Well, when I was there, I actually also bought some cream for me and
hmm
my husband to try it out. And then
hmm
I was going to try it out with my client. And I tell you, it was amazing. Like it was long lasting. I had some little pain in my shoulder. I just rubbed it in there.
hmm
It was quick, long lasting. It didn't
hmm
have a strong smell. There was probably a
hmm
little bit of menthol in it, but it wasn't
hmm
like a strong, like we would
hmm
smell or get from the store. It wasn't like that at all. And I
yeah,
appreciate that because I get
yeah,
allergies from synthetic
yeah,
smells. And it helped me, it helped my husband, helped my clients. So
that's awesome.
I know, like I'll definitely be back. The other thing I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you about that I saw there was doggy treats.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yes.
I've never thought about using it for pets, but I mean, that's amazing. How did those work?
Well, with your dog, they have the same kind of endocannabinoid system as we do. So it's going to affect their system just like us. If they're stressed, or if they have high anxiety, or if
Mm,
they're in pain, it's going to help them. So uh, we have older dogs that it helps. Another client, she came in and said that her dog was just not been able to do anything, just kind of walking around, barely been able to get around. She started giving these treats, and within two days, I believe she told me that her dog was jumping on her bed again, like he used to.
wow.
And this dog was, I think, 13, 14 years old. And so it just, within
Amazing.
just a few days, it done that much of a difference. But it helps them with like dogs that have the separation anxiety when their mama goes to work or dad
Yeah.
goes to work. It helps them to keep them from getting too hyped up, because You see videos of these dogs that are all crying and stuff. That's going to help with that.
Mhm.
It's going to help with if they get like from fireworks that gets dogs really crazy, or
Yes.
thunderstorms and stuff like that. It calms them and helps them to be okay. And with like, it's a good time right now for like around Halloween, where you have a lot of kids coming up and a lot of coming up around your house. Your dog's not constantly going to be barking. They're going to be a little calmer when all those people come in, or during the holidays, you get more. So it's great. It's great for them.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. My mom has a little Chihuahua, and every time
Oh yeah,
somebody comes there, comes to the house, oh, it's barking, barking, jumping, barking. My two,
yeah,
I mean, well, she's not two anymore. She's four, but she's
mhm,
little. You
yeah,
saw her. I mean,
mhm,
and so any kind of dog that jumps on her, she's knocking them over. So
mhm.
I'm definitely gonna tell my mom about that. I think that is wonderful, especially for fireworks. We babysat her
Oh
dog
yeah,
before, and they are so scared. I mean, shivering and
yeah.
hiding under the bed, and having something
Mhm.
like that would be amazing to help them. I mean, really, that's what it's about, right? Helping people alleviate their
Absolutely.
suffering. I mean, why live in pain? Why be in suffering? And it's
Yeah.
natural. It's
It's natural.
natural, right?
It is natural.
Is there
And
anything at all that's synthetic that people could be allergic to, or anything in these products?
there, if someone's allergic to like maybe MCT oil, that's in some of them, things like that, that has a few little items in it. So it's nothing like a drastic thing. I don't know how to how to say that properly, but
Okay.
it's not going to be anything like if you're allergic to grass. I've had one person tell me that they're allergic to grass, so they can't take it because it makes them itch.
Sure. Mhm.
I mean, it's natural, so it's
Right.
going to do that.
It
But
might,
that's the
yeah.
only side effect I've ever had anybody tell me that they had so far. I haven't heard
Okay.
anything other than that.
That's good
Now,
news.
and we also we didn't really touch on, but I should have said we do have beauty products here also.
Oh,
We have
okay.
really great lotions, face creams, face oil. I use face oil on me. It's awesome. It only takes like 3 drops. Put it on the hand, rub it into your face, and I put it on when I get up in the morning and when I get out of the shower. I just
So does it
that's
have like anti-aging properties? Is that the
it's
idea?
it's going to help with that a little bit. Yeah, it's going to help with that. And I naturally have rosacea on my face. I have for years, but
Yeah.
that has calmed that. It has calmed it. And
Oh,
since I started using it, I'll be honest, I rarely use the base anymore. I just use a little bit of powder, which I've never done all my life. I've never done it. I feel like I can do that now a little bit better. So,
wow. That's
and it's
incredible.
great. Hmm.
Yeah, I have a lot of allergies to cosmetics. I mean, I can't
Hmm.
buy what normal people buy because of what's in them. I get reactions. So it'd be great to know that there's something I can use
Oh
on my face
yeah.
that's not synthetic, right? That's so cool.
Hmm. Yes.
Um, there's
Awesome.
and so there was another question I wanted to ask you about, but in interim, so if people want to get in touch with you, if they want to ask you more questions, oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. How can they do that?
I'm Carlos Empire, and I'm at 1010 South Magnolia Boulevard. That's in Magnolia, Texas. And some people know it as 1774. It's the same street, but the actual address is considered South Magnolia Boulevard.
Okay, great.
But
And so they
and
can
that's the
visit
phone
the
number, 832-338-5729 is the phone number. And you can call me. That's actually my cell phone number. And so that'll come to the store because it goes wherever I go.
Excellent. Oh, that's so good knowing that you're accessible, because when people have questions, a lot of times they want to talk to who's in charge.
Yes,
That's
absolutely,
awesome.
absolutely.
So can somebody order something from you? Like, do you have an online store, or is it?
It is under construction right now. It is www.carlosempire.com, and it should be up and running. I'm hoping within the next week or two. But yes, and but you'll be able to have all of the products that I have here. We'll be able to have those on there, and it will come to me, and I will be the one right now to be me that's going to be shipping them out and all of that. So And
Excellent.
if you have any questions about that, you can also ask me that. If you want to buy something in bulk, let me know. I can do stuff like that. So,
Awesome. Awesome. Very cool. Oh, I hear the train. It must be time to
yeah.
go. I love it. Well, Carla, thank you so much for being on the show. It was really great having you on and learning more about CBD. I still have a few more questions, but we're going to have you on again later on,
Okay,
maybe
hey,
another
I'm up for
time.
that. I'm up for that.
Because I have a feeling that once your store gets up and running, you're going to have a lot of other great stories to tell us about how you've helped people. And we're really looking forward to those. So
Yeah,
thank you so much. We so
you're
appreciate you for
you're
being on
welcome.
today.
And you can Google me, and there's a little bit up there in Google. There's been a couple of articles that's come out about my opening, and you're actually in some of the pictures. So
Oh,
I'll have to
excellent.
snap that over to you. I don't
Please.
have it here with me, but yeah,
That is awesome. I love that.
yeah,
Very cool. And we can post them on our Beyond the Edge site as well. So that would
yes,
be
yes,
great. So cool. Oh man. So this has been fun, Carla. Thank you so
yes.
much again. And we look forward to hearing from you next time. And thank you all for
Okay,
joining us today. We really appreciate you. And go visit
absolutely.
Carla. Go visit Carla if
Yes,
you're in Texas. Give
yes.
her
I'm
a
the
ring.
one. I'm the one. I'm the one.
And go visit our website. Help check back next week. It's under construction, but keep her in mind for your CBT needs.
Absolutely.
Have a great day,
Thank you,
everybody.
Brandy.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Appreciate you.